Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Our job for today, we'll get some tree work. And so we're going to be starting out with our little Mac 110 here. It's a 32.8 cc or 2 cubic inch saw. I've had this for many years. It's been in earlier videos, but I'm going to cut the branch off this tree because it's been lowering down in the last 3 or 4 days, dropped almost into the road. Just in a short period of time. It was up high enough and then all of a sudden it dropped down, and mailman was complaining that he drug across his Jeep when he drove by, and neighbors were looking at it and wondering how to drive around it. So anyway, we went out, so we got cut into the main branch with this, and then when we come back we'll be using a different saw. So anyway, be right back. Well, we're back. Well, we got a little Stihl 034 here. This is a new addition. It was just donated to the channel by Mr. C. This had belonged to his dad. They each had one. A while back I got both of them running. This one had a bar on it that was really in bad shape. The tip was froze up, and I finally got it freed up and working, but I couldn't get it in good enough shape to do any cutting with, although I've got it running real well. So I swiped the bar and chain off my 031 because it's almost brand new. And anyway, this little 57 cc saw. That way I'll have a 44, a 48, a 57, 89, and 111 cc to kind of give a spread through the different models, and they're all fairly vintage. This is probably one of the newest ones here. Anyway, so we'll cut up the tree and branch it with this saw, and then we'll be seeing you out at the tree. Well, our chore for today is to take this big branch out of this tree. You can see it's hanging out in the road here. The mailman was complaining it was rubbing on the top of his vehicle when he drove by, so it dropped about 2 feet in the last 3 or 4 days. So anyway, it looks like it's cracking over by the where it goes into the trunk. So anyway, well, we'll put our undercut here and then cut it, and hopefully it just drops over here. If it comes towards me, I can jump off the back here. Well, that branch was rotten in the center. Amazing, that wood on the very bottom of it was really tenacious. Boy, I didn't want to let go. Just a little bit of wood kept holding it, so I had to keep cutting little slices out of it. Kind of a difficult cut, but anyway, I'm going to cut the top out of this so we can get it out of the road. I'm going to be using our Stihl 034 here that we just inherited from Mr. C. This was his dad's saw. So anyway, if it starts up, we'll cut it up. Okay, well, we're gonna take the little branches off this and shorten it up and get the main trunk over here, and then we're gonna put it into Logosol. I've had this in other videos. This is a marvelous piece of equipment. So anyway, we'll get started here. Quick and easy. We'll be back with some smaller branches. Okay, well, this Logosol is really handy, like I say, because You can use this small stuff here. I think about here is maybe about 3 inches through. And over here, this stuff looks about 8 to 9 inches. 10 or 11 inches is the max these things can hold. But you can put in a big heavy piece, but you have to spread it out so equalize the weight. But this, and then we get this here to cut, and you can see I'll just show how to adjust it real quick as we go through these. So. Okay, we'll come over here and show you how to adjust this real quick. Okay, well there's these holes here, raises and lowers this, so the one piece we have here is a bit bigger. So we'll come over to this set here, and then there's a little stop right here to hold it up. Push it in and it drops. Push it down, set it, you're ready to cut. Well, we're ready to pick this stuff up, and rather than bend over all the time, use our pickaroon. So just nice little whack, pick it up, drop it in there, and push it and it comes right off. And one of the best things ever invented by man. You have to judge what the wood's like, so if you don't hit it in hard enough it falls off, and hit it in too hard then it's hard to get off, but just practice is what you need. That was perfect. Got a hard spot in it. There we go. Quick and easy. Well, we got that removed, cut up and whatnot, but I think it was interesting. You can see that branches went up and around, but it was clear down on the road. In the center of this is rotten, but right about here the bark is loose and there's a discoloration there, so actually what it was doing, it was starting to come down right there. So I'll get this cut off here soon and we'll split it and you can see the bad spot in it right through there. So anyway, well, you can see the tree job went real well. It's really strange because the tree close to the main trunk has a dark stripe on it, and we'll show you a picture of it here. But anyway, the discoloration is where it was starting to crack internally and the sap was coming out, and it's about that far from where it goes under the main trunk. And so anyway, when we cut the big branch down, it had a hard time cutting it off because the wood was really hard around the perimeter and it was real punky and almost rotten on the center part of it. But anyway, here's a piece of it that I took out, and so here's a piece where I cut it next to the main trunk of the tree. And you see the wood fibers are real wide and they're semi-punky and real weak. But further out in the branch, the wood was pretty decent. So, but here's another piece where we cut. But like I say, you can just, you know, really weak. But interesting how trees will do things, because this branch had grown out and then it made a big turn and then came back, so that the foliage, the needles and stuff, were out towards the center of the road there eventually. But it's right where they could get the most sunshine. So it was trying to survive. But anyway, here's a piece of the branch that I cut. And the wood structure here is a whole lot better than on that piece I just showed. And so this stuff is pretty solid, and even the center is pretty good, but there was some rot starting in here from a wound there at some point in time. So anyway, like I say, trees are interesting. So anyway, for our next exciting video, I'm going to do a full go over on the old 34 here to tell you what I think of it, good and bad. And so we'll see you then. Vintage is best.